Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of These Old Guns. A long overdue episode, it's been a while. My name is still Rick, and I'm still a bit of a gun nut enthusiast. And we haven't done an episode in a few months because sometime around springtime, Connecticut sold itself to Satan, and it got hot. And I'm a retired union electrician and part of the 4-H club. So if it's too high, too hard, too hot, too humid, I choose not to engage it. In this case, it was too hot and too humid, and I didn't want to come out here and make a video or shoot anything. I didn't even do any trap shooting, it was so hot. I shot when I had to, only when I had to. So what we're going to do today, we're coming back to this Japanese Matchlock, and in a word, the gun is just weird. I don't know a whole lot about these. I did try to do as much research as I can on these, and they come up as just being weird. The stock's kind of strange. You're supposed to set it on a wall, and I get it. In a time when your options were crossbows and you're shooting arrows, I mean, this is pretty intimidating and pretty scary, but you could accomplish the same thing with a pipe with a touch hole and a lit cigarette. So maybe the Chinese invented the Marlboro Red. I have no idea. But if you did any research on guns before this, they were short barrels, they were on a stick, and they lit a fuse and touched them. They used a slow match. That was my other bit of research, was doing slow matches. Quick match is a fuse. Boom. Slow match is a nitrated copper or linen or sisal rope that's been treated with, in this case, potassium nitrate, so it glows very much like a head of a cigarette does. So I got two different kinds. I treated them this morning. I was trying to find the secret formula. I found a formula that worked and then poured it down the drain, so I don't even know what I made, but I can duplicate it. But this was cotton clothesline rope. Now when I found, looking at the inside, it had a core that was synthetic. So I just like kind of deveining a shrimp, pulled out the core, soaked this in a solution of water and potassium nitrate, handful, careful measuring, threw a handful in a little half-pint jug of water, put some hot water in it, soaked it, hung it outside to dry on the line, and I lit it and tried it, and it was actually glowing like it's supposed to. So how you fire this thing is you would have this burning rope and then set it in what they call the cock, and then it would fire. Now, we did fire this before, and we did a video on it, and someone said, well, you didn't go into the details of loading it. So what I want to cover today is the actual details of the gun. As I said, it's a weird gun. It's got weird sights. It's got a block of metal in the front with a slot cut in it. It's got a block of metal mounted down here in the dovetail, also with a slot cut in it. I have no idea other than that what it was, but that's the rudimentary sights on it. And if you can see this is called the cock. You pull the trigger here. That's it. Not very sophisticated. So this would hold a burning cord in your hand. There is a flash pin very similar to what a flintlock would have, or even a matchlock, a wheel lock. You would open this up before firing. There's a pan for priming, and when you pull the trigger, it drops a lit piece of cord into the priming powder, sets off the priming powder, which in turn sets off the charge here and sends the ball down there. Now, last time I shot this thing, I think I had a Hail Mary shot on a clay pigeon at 25 yards, actually hit it. And what I was using was I think a 440 round ball with a patch, and it was pretty loose. So I measured the bore. This is exactly 50 caliber bore. I've got a 490 round ball that I can't patch. It won't work patch. So I'm going to try a 490 round ball to see how it works. We got targets behind us here. And then I'll try a 458 patch round ball. Let's see if there's any difference with accuracy and what I can do with this barrel. I mean, it's a really long barrel. It's a smooth bore. And all I can say is it's just an unusual firearm. I know there's competition with these, and that's one more competition I don't want to engage in. I do enough black powder shooting. You'll see the targets here. Your targets will be shooting back there. You'll see some paper targets and some clay pigeons mounted, some clay pigeons hanging. Those are the types of targets we shoot in the North-South Skirmish Association, which I support and been a member for 52 years. So you see some of the targets we shoot in competition, which is both punch and paper for score and then breakable targets. Hanging clays, mounted clays, hanging tiles. I'm going to see if I can hit anything with this gun, other than maybe a Hail Mary shot. And I've got 2 targets set up. I'm going to shoot one with an unpatched 490 round ball, pretty close to the bore diameter, and then a patched 458. And see if there's any real difference. I'm not going to get a ball that's 10 thousandths under under the bore, because that ball is a little bit. I don't think I can get a patch ball that's 490 down this bore. It'd be a pain in the neck. So we're going to break right here, and the next scene will be showing the actual loading procedure, which is very similar to any other muzzle loading firearm. We're going to mostly focus on the priming and the whole flash pan and all the weird stuff that goes on down here. All right. So yeah, we'll cut to that next scene next. Okay, here we go. Let's envision that I've already put a powder charge and a ball down the barrel. Right, underneath here is the flash pan. It's covered. So you're going to open the cover. Now, small place there to put your priming powder. Close your flash pan. Keep it protected from the elements for wind or whenever. When you're ready to fire, you have this burning cord that's lit like like I said, like a cigarette. You place it in here. Cock the hammer. You open up the cover for the flash pan. Now I have powder exposed. I got something burning about 1/4 inch away from it. I can't say it's the safest arrangement. There is a rudimentary trigger back here, which basically unlocks the detent right here. You can see that little detent above the hammer here. And I go and get stuck. That's it. It's about as simple as it gets. Now you think back to early handguns or hand cannons was a pipe on a stick, and somebody figured out if you put a touch hole at the breech, it worked better than running a fuse down the barrel. And they would have a slow match like this and point the stick with a pipe at the end of it with a rock or gunpowder and set it off. Not very sophisticated. This is the next model up. A handheld pipe with powder and a projectile in it. Sometimes rocks. By this time, probably lead. And this is the slow match. The slow match is also used for setting off artillery. You'd have a slow match on a linstock, and that would be glowing red. And then when they got the cannon loaded and ready to fire, you would take your burning cord, slow match, and touch off the powder in the touch hole to fire off the gun. You really don't want to use a fuse, a slow fuse on a cannon, because as soon as you light the fuse, you lose control of the gun. So you want something more instantaneous by taking a burning wick like this and priming powder in a cannon, going boom, just like that. This is just a smaller version of setting off a cannon. It's a pipe with gunpowder and a projectile and a place to put the priming powder. That's the priming powder. And you hit that with a lit fuse, slow match, lights the powder, and it goes bang. And we're going to turn this thing around and see if we can hit anything with it. The stock is not meant to go on your shoulder, as far as my understanding is. It's meant to be balanced on something like a wall or some sort of barrier. But this is probably 1400s Japanese, and I said people shoot competition with these. This is made in Japan, probably in the 70s. It's cool, but it's very rudimentary, simple. That's it. No flint, no frizzing, no snafflings like that, no dog lock, no percussion cap. It's just taking a lit piece of rope, sisal type rope, cotton rope, linen rope, shoving it in a pan full of gunpowder and setting the gun off. I would imagine on a rainy day it probably didn't work very well. So I'm actually going to load it, and then we're going to demonstrate firing it. But I did want to come back, because someone said I could circle back and demonstrate the loading procedure for the gun. I don't want to load this with a burning match in place, so the match is going to come off like that. I'm going to close the pan and load the gun. No, actually, prime the pan and load the gun. Put a little bit of priming powder in the pan. There's no burning match anywhere here. Just put a little dab of powder in there. That's some 3F. And get a powder measure. And I'm going to put 30 grains of 3F powder in here, because why not? I don't have to put any more than that. I'm just trying to get the ball to come out the barrel and go down range. Okay. I'll get this out of the way. Should still be in frame. Dump 30 grains of powder down there. I'm going to fire it's not going to go. That fall is too tight. We're going to fire it's the gooey part. Lube. And most of my black powder shooting does not involve patches. I never liked them. I like shooting the Civil War stuff that is an expanding mini ball and much easier to load than a patch round ball with a patch knife and all that stuff. Okay, this does have a wooden ramrod, but it's kind of fragile. I didn't want to use it. I don't want to break anything. So now this is loaded. Not primed, but it's loaded. I'm going to set it here. And have Rick change the camera angle. I'm going to light the wick for the slow match. I'm going to take a shot down there and put it on paper, see what happens. Alright, here we go. My authentic Bic lighter from the 1300s. Well, here you go. There's a close-up for you. I'm keeping this away from the powder's covered. There's a nitrate slow match. It's just burning like a cigarette, like a punk incense. And it's been treated with potassium nitrate. The right amount, it burns well. If I had too much high concentration, it would be spitting sparks, and for some reason, without even carefully measuring, in a wild ass guess, be working. So you're doing this while someone's shooting arrows at you, or ballistas, or shooting something else. Alright, break here and change the camera angle so you can watch the shot going down range. Okay, you still see the smoke coming off the match here. I've got it in position. I'm going to open up the cover for the flash pan. Hope the spark doesn't fall in there. And like I said, there's no stock, so we imagine we'll be firing on a wall. So I'm going to take a crack at the bullseye on the left and see what happens. Nothing. Which we had last time. Let me adjust this thing. See what happens now? I'd be dead already. Surprise me. Basically take an aim shot this time. Okay. Let's close that up. I will say I'm impressed with my success on making a slow match because I'm working on a cannon. I'm going to need a slow match to set off that cannon. I may use friction primers too, but at least I've figured out how to take a piece of clothesline, pull out the synthetic core, like deveining a shrimp, and hell, make a slow match. Get this out of the way. I must say, I would never probably shoot this thing for the hell of it. Because to me, it's just not that interesting. I mean, yeah, to a point. I got a hole in the paper at about 7 o'clock, way out of the black. It's kind of an exact science. Here we go, another shot. Something about burning embers and black powder doesn't seem right. But that's how they did it. Now you know why they invented flintlocks and wheel locks. Someday we'll get a wheel lock and do a wheel lock video. We have a wheel lock. What was that, 1620? We're not going to shoot that one. It's beautiful. It's a museum piece, and after 400 some odd years, I don't think it'd be a good idea to shoot it. It'd probably be okay, but what if it isn't? I'll take one more whack here and see what's going on. Bump it up to 40. Yeah. Starter. I really prefer the safety of a flintlock or a percussion lock. But hey, for my viewers, for my loyal viewers, I'll take one for the team. These are totally ridiculous firearms. Okay, opening the flash pan. Look at down these silly sights and see what happens. I'm gonna try a clay pigeon. I hit nothing. Didn't light myself on fire either. Alright, let's take a break. Let's go take a walk, see what we got. We'll put a few more shots, but let's go see what we hit. So cutter right here, we'll go down there and look. I'm gonna just light the place on fire. Okay, what do we got? I don't know if that was today or not, the hole here, but we do a lot of shooting out here with black powder, so that could have been from today. I don't know. Maybe. I got one here. I got one in the black. And I aimed at this clay, and I hit here. So if it was a human-sized torso at 25 yards, it would probably have been successful. I better try the gong and work my way up to the smaller things. But it makes holes and things. So go back, and since the gun's already dirty, may as well fire a few more rounds out of it, because if you fire one shot or 50 shots, you still got to clean with hot soapy water. Oh yeah, if you do shoot black powder, don't get sucked into that drain of buying black powder solvents that they sell on the market. There's all sorts of black powder solvents, and there's also Dawn and hot water, Simple Green, Windex. I use Simple Green and hot water, a little bit of Dawn, this detergent in a bucket of water. There are people who will mix a mixture of alcohol and peroxide, and you can look it up, Murphy's oil soap. But if I'm mixing 2 gallons of water in a bucket, put a few bits of Dawn detergent in it, I can stick the whole barrel in there and slosh it out, and then wash the barrel with hot soapy water, then clean it out with hot water, and then when I'm done, I take my compressor and just shoot some air down there, blow the water out, hit it with some oil, atomize the oil with the compressed air, wipe the gun down, and you're done. And it takes about half hour to clean the gun, depending on which type of gun it is. This is not going to come apart. We did establish on that first video on the Matchlock where I hit that clay at 25 yards, I'm going to say that was just a lucky shot. Let's call it a lucky shot. The primer action here. Okay. Doing 40 grains 3F. Because it's enough to make it go bang. Alright, well, grease patch, put the ball in there, sand it down, so I stuffed out the match. Stuck it in a 9mm case. Now if you have an interest in black powder, you want to try this stuff, and I'm not saying necessarily this stuff, but you want to have a lot of fun shooting black powder, Then you like the cap locks and flint locks, and the cap ball revolvers and single shot revolvers and the carbines and the smooth bores. Go to n-ssa.org, North South Skirmish Association, and that's where you'll find a link to all the black powder shooting you want to do. And we're doing disciplines from cap ball revolver, single shot pistol, carbines, breech loading carbines, muzzle loading carbines, Civil War rifle muskets, Civil War smooth bores, some flintlocks are involved in that, and Ballards, single shot rifles, sharps, the repeater Henrys. You're shooting in 44-40 or 45 Colt with black powder, traditional black powder, no Pyrex. And they're all throughout the Eastern Seaboard, and we do down in Virginia twice a year for the Nationals. It's a lot of fun. They've been doing that for over 50 years. Okay, we're loaded, and see what the heck happens here. I'm going to try the gong. Need a bigger target because I don't know if that clay is going to, that's doable without a Hail Mary shot. Huh! Put the ears on, dummy. Wasn't bad. That put it right in the middle of the gong. Maybe there's hope. Alright. Now I'm getting cocky. I'm going to try and launch one. And you can see from here, I aim in the middle of the gong, and that's right where the ball went. So let's see if we can do that. I will say the ignition was better on that one. No schmutz on it. Getting a little sticky. Not bad. Yeah. This time I'm going to try for a clay. Because last time when I aimed in the center of the gong, that's where it hit. But I'm not going to lie, it's a little concerning opening this flash pan with the spark right above it. So you better make sure you're pointed where you want this thing to go when you do that. I wouldn't walk around with a thing like that. Always keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. That one went low right to the center clay. But the ignition was good. All right, last shot. ball starter. Not needed shooting mini balls because they're undersized of the bore, much easier to load. We covered that in some of our other videos on the Civil War guns. We did the smooth bores, and we covered 61 Springfield. Let's go for paper. On the left. Again, nothing happened. Okay. So what did we learn? Well, to a point we've come a long way in firearm technology and how to ignite it. But the basic premise is a pipe launching a projectile to poke a hole in somebody or an animal or whatever you want to do, or a target. The basic premise hasn't changed. That somebody first stuffed a rock down a pipe and set it off and sent it at somebody else, or sent an arrow or a ballista or whatever sort of projectile. They launch projectiles. The ignition systems come a long way. That's almost out. You're good in the rain. But it's fun to look at these old guns and see, well, what was it like then? We'll take a walk down to the target. So far, the only thing I hit that I wanted to hit was the gong. Didn't hit a clay. Poked some holes in the paper. So yes, the very first video where I shot a clay, absolute Hail Mary shot. No doubt about it. The sights on this thing are just so strange. I would almost have the camera, bring the camera around here and take a look down the sight, and you can do that without. See what they look like. You got a notch in the front and kind of a groove back here, and I have no idea what the purpose of those is for. That's how the gun came. True. If somebody knows that something's missing or something's supposed to be done differently, let me know. I'm sure I'm going to hear something, because believe me, someone's going to straighten me out. I don't know much about these Matchlocks. I don't use them. It's just we're learning as we go with these. But I did make the mistake of referring to one of my revolvers as an 1858 Remington, and somebody said, "You don't know your Remington, that's a Beals whatever." And I said, "It's an 1858 Remington cap and ball revolver. Yes, there are many variations of it, but I didn't know the particular variation of that 1858 because I'm not an expert on that stuff." And I was very quickly corrected that I don't know my Remington because I should have referred to it as a Beals or something. I don't care. It's a cool cap and ball gun. We did a video on that with the two reproduction Remington style gun. One was an original, one was a reproduction. We shot them for groups with the Remington as the progressive depth, progressive rifling, and I don't think the reproduction did, but I think we determined that the original was actually more accurate, over 25 yards. I like them both. That pretty much sums it up on this gun. All I'm going to do with this thing, what I'm going to do is just clean it. And I'm going to make some more of this match. It'll work out pretty good. So I have I guessed at the formula, but it'll work for me. Any questions on this? Out. Let me know. So we haven't had a chance to do a video all summer. This is the first one. And I want to get back into making some stuff and have some other guns to try out. I'm looking forward to when I complete my cannon. That may get fired back here. I don't know. We may. Or somewhere else, but it will be fired. Because that's an 1.5-inch bore. That's a pretty big round ball to shoot in the backyard. Maybe not be such a great idea. Either way, it'll be kind of fun, but that's an ongoing project. So, thanks for watching. If you like it, please subscribe. I did mention the North-South Skirmish Association and n-ssa.org. I urge you to look that up. We just signed a new member up on our team. I'm pretty excited about that. But if you do like competing and you like history, you can be historical correct with the Civil War uniforms and shoot the guns in competition. You can also be as historically correct as you want to be. If you want to sleep in the straw, sleep in the hay and a wedge tent, go right ahead. I like the Hampton Inn, continental breakfast, but I'm also older. I used to do that stuff. But it's a great hive with a great bunch of people to experiment with the different kinds of black powder guns, and there's a lot of them. Periods from early 1800s to 1865. A lot of those guns in between, and we've covered some of them. Yeah, we did the flintlock too. That was also a Civil War period, which would have been used. So yeah, thanks, subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video. Any ideas you want to see, let me know. Some old gun, we got plenty more in the cabinet. Bye for now.